If you're a parent and you keep telling yourself you just need to find the time to train again, this video is probably going to make you feel uncomfortable, because the problem isn't your discipline, it's the way you're trying to train. There was a time when long workouts worked for me, not because I was special, just because my life was quieter. I could decide at 5 p.m. that I'd train at 6. I could disappear for an hour. No one needed me. No one interrupted me. Nothing unexpected showed up. And back then, I honestly thought that was what training was supposed to look like. An hour, maybe more. Headphones in, music loud, push hard, leave erect. That version of training made sense for that version of life. Then kids arrived. Not in a dramatic movie scene way, just slowly, quietly, realistically. Sleep changed, energy changed, time fractured. And suddenly, the thing that used to work just didn't. The silent frustration no one talks about. What nobody really prepares you for is how subtle that shift is. It's not like you wake up one day and say, right, I can't train anymore. It's more like you miss a session, then another. Then you start shortening them. Then you start rescheduling them. Then one day you realize you haven't trained properly in weeks. And the worst part, you don't blame your life. You blame yourself. You think, I just need to be more disciplined. I need to want it more. I need to get my shit together. But discipline isn't the real issue. The issue is that your life no longer supports long, uninterrupted blocks of effort, and pretending it does slowly turns training into another source of guilt. Why long workouts depend on perfect conditions? Long workouts only work when certain conditions are met. You need uninterrupted time, predictable energy, mental space, a body that isn't already depleted. After kids, those conditions are rare. Your time comes in fragments. Your energy fluctuates wildly. Your nervous system is already loaded before the day even starts. So every long workout becomes a gamble. And when you lose that gamble, you feel like you failed. But really, the structure failed you. Long workouts aren't wrong. They're just fragile. They collapse the moment life gets messy. And parenting is messy by default. How guilt kills consistency. This is where things really break down. Because once you start missing long workouts, you don't just miss movement. You miss identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone who trains. You start saying things like, I used to be fit. I used to train properly. I'll get back to it one day. And that gap between who you were and who you feel like now gets heavier every week. Not physically, emotionally. That's why so many parents stop altogether. Not because they don't care, but because the cost of constantly failing feels worse than stopping. The quiet reframe that changed everything for me. What changed things for me wasn't a new plan. It was a question. Instead of asking, when can I fit my workout in? I started asking, how can movement live inside the day I already have? That sounds small, but it's a completely different mindset. It stops treating training as something separate from life and starts treating it as something woven into it. Once I stopped trying to protect an hour and started respecting 5 minutes, everything shifted. What actually works after kids? After kids, training has to survive interruption. It has to survive bad sleep, bad moods, bad timing. It has to work when the day goes sideways. This means movement that doesn't need warming up for 20 minutes. Movement that doesn't need equipment set up. Movement that doesn't require hype. Sometimes it's just getting down on the floor. Sometimes it's a hang while the kids play. Sometimes it's crawling around the living room because that's where you already are. None of it looks impressive, but it works because it's honest. Why frequency beats duration in real life. Here's the part most fitness advice skips. Your body doesn't need long sessions to stay strong. It needs frequent reminders. Reminders that movement is normal, that joints still move, that breath still flows, that strength still exists. 10 minutes today, 5 minutes later, 2 minutes tomorrow morning. Those moments stack up, not in a dramatic way, in a quiet, reliable way. And reliability is everything after kids. The emotional side, no one mentions. Training after kids isn't just physical. It's emotional regulation. Movement is often the only place where your nervous system gets to settle. It's where frustration drains, where tension releases, where patience returns. I don't move to stay fit. I move so I don't snap, so I don't carry stress into my parenting, so I can be present instead of reactive. Long workouts used to be about performance. Now movement is about stability. Redefining what enough actually means. One of the hardest shifts is letting go of the idea that training only counts if it looks a certain way. Sweaty, exhausting, tracked. But after kids, enough changes. Enough might be staying mobile, staying calm, staying capable, staying consistent. Enough is doing something instead of waiting for everything to be perfect. Once you accept that, movement stops feeling heavy. You're not failing. If long workouts don't work for you anymore, that doesn't mean you failed. It means your life evolved and your training hasn't caught up yet. You don't need more discipline. You need a structure that respects your time, your energy, your responsibility. There's nothing wrong with you. You're just trying to use an old solution for a new reality. Long workouts stop working after kids because life no longer makes space for them. But movement doesn't need space. It needs permission. Permission to be small. Permission to be imperfect. Permission to live inside real life. You don't need to train like you used to. You just need to move in a way your life can actually support. That's enough.